It's a beautiful morning. Good morning, and today we're going to be looking at fixing the leak on the pump. As I'm heading out there, I'm going to show you from the last video what I'm talking about. It was from when I took it apart because, quite frankly, I just needed to learn about how it was put together and what it was all about and basic function and everything like that. When I put it back together, I didn't have
a bit worse.
proper gasket, so I
Yikes.
put silicone
so
in there.
I've got some more repair to do
It now leaks
on this
really
thing.
bad. So it is time to crack it back open and get in there and go to the store basically and find a proper gasket for it. So here is the pump, and I'm going to do my best to do this on site here so that I don't need to take off those wires. I'm going to verify that the main power supply is unplugged. It's obviously not running now, but it still could have power. Of course, I can flip this and I know there's no power, but I'm still going to be extra safe on that and make sure that I just totally unplug it. So I'm going to start by removing the main bolts. There's 4 of them. And then, of course, removing the pipe here. And then when this part pops off, I have 2 pieces. I have this piece, and then I have this metal piece in here, and that's where it's leaking, between this and that little metal piece in there. That little metal piece in there I can actually take off and take it to the store for sizing. I may have to take this thing into the shop anyway, just so I have an easier time by putting this on the bench and all that other good stuff. Because that is, because that's caked together with the silicone, yeah, I just don't think I'm going to get that to pop off properly unless I have a better way to control it when I'm in the shop. All right, so I'll move this thing into the shop and we'll pick it up there. All right, so with everything here in the shop, hopefully this will go a little bit smoother. I decided to still leave the cord attached, even though that might get annoying too. But really I just need to pry that part off. And of course the problem is the shaft, the whole idea of the spindle that spins the impeller. Yeah, we had a problem with that disconnecting properly the last time I took it apart. Hopefully this time it'll go a little easier. So I just gonna see if I can just pry that off. So let's proceed. Success. Yay. Lovely. So now I need to take off the back part so I can grab the spindle and loosen the impeller, and then I'm good to go. So that thing there is connected to the spindle. And now I'm taking off the impeller. And then that and now I need to take off the spindle seal. There's that. Let's see here, it goes that way. And this is what I'm going to take to the store. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. And I need a gasket that fits that diameter there. And so I'll pick it up here once I have successfully found a gasket. So I'm back already. Didn't take too long. Got a custom cut gasket for going around there. And it also turns out on the interior part here, there's a piece that was busted, and it mates with, where is that? Here it is. It mates with this piece, which apparently you're not supposed to touch. So as far as the face is concerned, the one that mates with the piece that goes in there. This is why I love doing this kind of stuff and just diving in, digging in, and figuring this kind of stuff out. So we got a new one of those as well. So as I put this in, there's two pieces. There's a piece that seats in here, and then there's of course the piece that goes on the spindle, the replacement for what I just tossed to the side there. And then I'll be able to fix it all together, put it all together, and go out and get it tested, see if it still leaks. It better not. So here we go, putting it all back together. So this rubber piece I can touch, that was okay, but apparently I guess that's a ceramic there, and I'm not supposed to touch that with my fingers. So he said either use some gloves or maybe use the foam that is in here. That's just some regular packing material. So whatever I do, I shouldn't be touching that white part. And of course, it's going to take a little bit to get that fully seated. It's a brand new piece with some new rubber, a nice new seal. And I don't want to break it. Oh my goodness. It's not going in very well. Now the guy also said I could put a light oil in there, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil around the place where it fits in. This thing is proving to be a pain in the rear to get that thing in there. So it's the white ceramic thing that goes into this rubber bushing washer, whatever you want to call it, and it's just not going in there. I tried using some washers to apply even pressure, and then I'm using a big socket wrench to push it down in there, and I'm putting nearly all my weight on it, and it still isn't working. So I'm going to take out a little bit of that grime, a little bit of that rust and buildup that has got to be a part of my problem with the old Dremel. Now that I can actually see real metal, not just grime and rust and whatever else, maybe it'll fit a little easier. It'll actually go in maybe. Just gonna do a little bit more. With all my attempts to get this thing in there, it's gotten a little bit dirty. And the whole idea of don't touch the ceramic thing, while I haven't touched it with my fingers, I don't know what good it's doing. Because it's ceramic, how can my fingers be problematic with it? I'll trust the guy, and I'll do my best to not touch it. But it's... Oh, that surface is still really clean, and I think that's the point. That might actually start to go in even. See, my biggest problem before was it was kind of tilting and getting caught up on a burr of something like rust or whatever. All right, so now I'm going to use the washer again. That's about the same size as the ceramic disc, a slightly bigger washer, to take the pressure from this thing. That might have gone in. Let's see. Oh, it has a little bit more to go, but it's going in. Oh yeah. Almost funny how the slightest amount makes all the difference in the world. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is fully seated and beautifully doing what it needs to do. And I look at the other side here, that looks really good too. Really happy with how that, oh my goodness, that's good. Very good. All right, so now it's simply a matter of putting it all together. That was the biggest, the biggest problem. Now it's all about the point of just putting it together. See, that's still beautifully solid. Everything is going really well there. I think I'm going to try and, well, see, this part of the shaft is really good. I was thinking I was going to try and clean that up, but that's just a little bit of debris left over from those spider webs. So not terribly concerned about that, as you can see. All right, let's get this together here. And then this is the spring part that replaces this, the spring-loaded part that places that. And so that mates up with that. So that compresses, and that we just got to make sure that the rubber stays connected there to the nice and flat. But that'll be compressed by the impeller here. Oh, this is nice. I'm getting a lot of good resistance like I should get because that thing is compressing and I can see it engaging and compressing, so I know it's going to be a good seal. Okay, that's nice and tight. Now the gasket. There's still some silicone in there, so we're going to pull that out. So the guy at the store, he cut this a little bit too wide, so I need to cut it down a little bit. So now I can put it back in and it won't go against the impeller housing. It's just the upper part here, it was kind of pushing against the gasket, where all the rest of it down here didn't have that problem. There's just a little bit of a kind of a flange or something up here where it was pressing. So now that this is even right with that part there, it's going to be just fine. Now that that's all done, it's just time to get it out and hook back up, primed, and let's see if this thing works. With those two new seals, the big gasket and the spindle piece, I'm pretty sure I have a high level of confidence it's gonna work just fine. So here we go. I'm gonna hook it back up and test it out. All right, it's all set up, it's ready to go. For some reason, the little camera I normally use is pooping out on me. I don't know what the problem is. Battery doesn't die, but it just turns off automatically. So I'm gonna get this thing plugged in and we're gonna test it out and see that it actually works well and doesn't leak. Of course, that is the goal. So the cable or the plug and then we put this cutoff switch back in. The prime has been running for at least 10 minutes, probably more. You've probably noticed I changed clothes as well because I need to get to work. All right, so here we are, the moment of truth. Will this work? It is absolutely working. We got water flowing through. And we have 0 drips coming down there. Oh, I just saw the tiniest of a drip here. It could be from this release valve though. But that hum and all that, that's how it sounded for a good long time, so nothing has changed basically. And now let's head out and take a look at the sprinklers doing their job. It is always nice to see that happening. And there they are. I'm not going to run them too long today, I don't think. We just ran this section, what was it, 2 days ago? And we only have 7 heads, and it looks like one of them's clogged already. We only have 7 heads on this line, and so it runs probably a little higher pressure than it normally would, especially with that one that's clogged. I need to clear that out. But I really just wanted to test it and make sure that it wasn't leaking anymore. And it seems that it's not leaking anymore, so that's really wonderful. I love when something works out and it all comes together. So I'm gonna go back and turn it off and get myself to work. Thank you for watching and following along and learning a little more about pumps and how they're put together and basically how to make it so it doesn't leak. That is hugely important. Otherwise we're just wasting water. Well, actually it doesn't technically get wasted. It just goes right back into the creek here. But wasting energy because all that water is not going out in the field where it should be going. All right, until next time, we'll see you later.